What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back with another video of transfer talk. It's actually an update to the Jack Harrison one I did just before the weekend commenced. Bit of an update with a couple of comments made by Jack Harrison that's got a lot of people talking. I'm going to give my thoughts on that. But before I get into it, hit a like on the video. Best way to help the channel. Subscribe if you're not subscribed and share the video around. Got to give a shout out to super thanks donators on the last video. Martin E, thank you so much again. Tim Hurst and Leeds United John. Thank you for your super thanks on the last video. And those super thanks are like super chats that you do on the live chats. They're on the same line of like and dislike and share. So if you want to donate to the channel, just helps running the channel. You can do it that way. And it's all appreciated by myself, of course. So thank you to those guys that donated on the last video. Listen, as well, IG, if you're on Instagram and you haven't followed me on there yet, my name is the same as it is on YouTube, KG Vision. So please follow me on Instagram. And of course, the FPL. If you haven't joined my FPL league yet, click the link in the description and join the fun. I think we got over 100 people in there now. So it's going to be a decent league. Come in and have some fun with that. But yeah, listen, let's get into it now. Leeds United played Villa in a friendly. I didn't watch the game. I've seen a couple things from it. I was very impressed with the Meslier saves that he was making. He reminded me of Meslier of before, like, say, December last season, where confidence had probably dropped. That's the Meslier I know, just laughing after a save and enjoying himself again. Love to see that. Love to see our young king back in form. Hopefully he can take that into the season. And then we saw the injury with John McGinn and Archie Gray. Yeah, listen, I heard the game was a bit wild, but the only thing for me with the McGinn thing is, yes, it was a bad tackle, but it's how he walked away, man. He walked away like, I don't care. I don't like that. Now, see, in hockey, I have to go to hockey, but in hockey, if you carelessly injure a player, you're going to have to fight somebody. So, you know, I mean, listen, I know it's two different sports, but I do wish they could just do that quick 5-minute fight. Then you come back on the pitch. You know, it would be nice. It would be nice. But yeah, it wasn't good. But hopefully Archie Gray is okay. They're saying that it might be a sprain, but I've known sprain ankles in, you know, high sprain ankles in sports to be much worse than breaks sometimes. So just let's just hope it's not serious, because I would love to see Archie Gray as an option in this squad, because unlike the other players that we were seeing last year who were getting debuts, like, you know, given out like candy, he's actually got a lot of talent. So we do need him in the squad. So hopefully speedy recovery to Archie Gray. Now, obviously, the main talking point and why we're here is Jack Harrison. Now, let me get the quotes. Jack Harrison is being linked with a move to Newcastle. We've discussed that in the last video. He was asked after the game by a journalist. I don't know who it was, but he was saying, but the journalist asked, and I'm paraphrasing here, when asked, hold on, I'm just reading it here. When asked what we all want to hear, you're staying, right? Jack Harrison then replies, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's good so far. Now, a lot of people have taken it a lot of different ways. I'm here to give my opinion on it. Because yes, he didn't come out and say, no chance, I'm staying. He didn't say, no chance, I'm staying at Leeds. I love it here. I'm doing all this. And people are upset about that. But what I would say to that is, if there is any serious consideration about him going, and he says, I'm staying, and then he goes, he'll get a lot of stick for that. So although it wasn't what people wanted to hear, it's probably the right thing now, because we don't know what's going on in the background. And just to add to that, Jesse Marsh maintains Harrison is a big part of his plans next season. He says there's always been interest in him, and if big bids come in, then the club has to look at it. And that's something that I said on the last video, isn't it? It's something we talked about. What is the acceptable bid? If 20 million isn't it, and it's definitely not it, is it 30? Is it 35? Are we getting to those numbers and then we have to sell? It's interesting. Now, Jack Harrison on his part, I'm going to try and look at it a few different ways here. He probably said we'll see, because maybe there's talks of a new contract, right? And in contract negotiations, you never want to show your hand. You never want to say, yeah, I definitely want to stay here, because then it means that the club know that, listen, we're not going to offer you the money that you want, but we'll get close to it. Whereas if there's a danger that you might go, you're more likely to get your demands. You and your agent are more likely to get what you want. If there's any chance that it could be from the club side, Who knows? From what Jesse Marsh said, it could be that the club are going to consider a bid for him, and then we'll be looking to move him on. So that's why he probably might have said, "We'll see." So it might not just be from his end; it might be from the club's end too, especially if the bid is big enough. So there's a few different scenarios at play here that makes it not as simple just for him to say, "I'm staying." Now, there could be, by the time the saga's over, it could be that he signed a new contract at Leeds United. That usually happens when other clubs are interested in you. It usually means that your current club will give you incentive to stay or reward you for the work you've done or are going to do, and stave off interest from other clubs. Or it could mean that he could be sold. That is a possibility. Now, obviously, we've lost Rafinha and Calvin Phillips, so losing Jack Harrison would not be ideal. But you would assume that the club have got contingency plans in place. You would assume anyway, because apparently we're still going to replace Rafinha too. So yeah, it's not ideal, and you do wish, and I'm with everyone that says it. You do wish that we was getting offers for our fringe players that have got no business being here, but unfortunately, teams don't come in for those players. They just don't. It's going to be for your better players or highly rated players, and Jack Harrison is one of those guys. So it might not even be a thing now. When I asked on Friday about Leeds fans, would you sell him? It might be a case of, if the bid is big enough, he might be gone. But at the same time, it might be a contract negotiation play too. So that's why I'm not up in arms about what Jack Harrison said. For me, it's just a negotiation tactic, whether he's going to go or whether he's going to stay. So for me, I'm okay with that. But what I want to hear from you is, how do you feel about it? How do you feel? Do you feel he should have been more committed with his answer, or do you appreciate that he doesn't know at this moment in time? Do you appreciate that? What, give me your thoughts and feelings about what's been said, because I've read a few bits and pieces here, some extreme, and but that's Twitter for you. I want to hear what my subscribers have got to say about what Jack Harrison has said, because it's very interesting, isn't it? It is very interesting, but it's a saga that we can't have going on. If he's going to sign a new contract here, let's get it done as soon as possible. If he's going to be sold, then we need to get in a replacement straight away. And we was talking on Friday as well about it being a British-based replacement on the homegrown quota. I think we might be okay there. So if they were to say go for a Cody Gakpo or somebody along those lines, then I think we'd be okay. But it would be a blow. But I would say to the people that as well say that you can't make too many changes, that you can say that. I agree with in some sense, but at the same time, there are examples where there have been quite a few changes in the team, and it's done the team well. If you want to use the most recent example, Crystal Palace last year had a big clear out, got in loads of players under Patrick Vieira, and they had a decent league campaign, and they also got to a cup semi-final. So it didn't do them much harm. And plus, the players before, much like ours, where they were replacing them, weren't the best in the world. And listen, we finished 17th last year, so we can always have room for improvement, but it has to be the right signings. But let's hope. I'm still on the side that I want Harrison to stay. I still think he's got a lot to give. I really do. And the more I say it, the more I'm convinced by it. The more I think that he is primed for a near 13 to 15 goal season at some point. So I'm hoping it's here at Leeds United. But I want to get your thoughts on that. Let me know what you think. Um, just give me your thoughts on what's happened, whether it be the Archie Gray injury, Jack Harrison's comments, Jesse Marsh's comments about him being in the plans. But everybody's got a price. That's unfortunately the way it is in football. But yeah, listen, people, that will be it from me today. I hope, well, unless anything else breaks today, that's huge news. But I hope everyone's had a good weekend. Smash a like on the video. Please do that. That's the best way to help the channel. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Peace out, people. Peace.